All right, breaking news right now. We're following a police chase. These are live pictures out of Oakland Park.
Let's get you live to the scene where Ralph Rayburn is in Skyforce HD above the scene. And Ralph, it looks like that car is traveling at a fairly, well, it's slowing down a little bit here, no?
Yeah, he's got traveling at a pretty good clip here in the neighborhoods just south of Oakland Park Boulevard, west of I-95. The vehicle being pursued by officers up around, I believe, Lighthouse Point, at least that far north. That's what we were hearing. Came down I-95, actually went north on I-95, north of Hillsborough Boulevard, made a U-turn, got back on the roadway. BSO asked for the assistance of Florida Highway Patrol. Florida Highway Patrol sent several troopers southbound. They got behind the vehicle and then lost it in traffic as it exited off of I-95 at Oakland Park Boulevard, came westbound, and is now being tracked by the Broward Sheriff's Office helicopter. It is a stolen vehicle. That's really all we know. We don't know about the number of occupants or if anything else has occurred other than there is some damage to the rear of the vehicle, and it is in the neighborhoods here. I'm going to just quickly scan over on my GPS, see if I can give you a location. It's Northwest 30th Terrace right now, right off of 27th, 28th Avenue, and the vehicle is now southbound on that roadway, now turning westbound. And again, this all happened in about the last 10 or 15 minutes. It took us about 8 minutes to get up here from our the hangar at North Perry Airport, and in that period of time, this vehicle traveled at least, I would say, 10 or 11 miles here, and is trying to elude police officers both on the ground and in the air. We're going to stay on this shot for you. If you've got any questions or anything, we'll take them now.
All right, Ralph, so we're getting information just into the newsplex that this actually started in Lighthouse Point. As you said, this driver is apparently allegedly driving a stolen car. Again, you're looking at live pictures of a police chase. BSO is helping out, we believe, with their chopper as well. It's coming to almost a stop there at the intersection, but weaving around. So, Ralph, when you first got to this picture, that rear bumper was already damaged. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. It took us a while to identify the vehicle because there were no marked police cars behind it. We believe at one point it was being pursued by an unmarked police car. We have not confirmed that, but we did not see anything really suspicious on the roadway until we saw this vehicle turn into oncoming traffic. And as you can see now, obviously this is the vehicle that police officers in this area are trying to get to stop. We've seen him drive in the wrong lane of traffic into oncoming traffic several times now in these neighborhoods. I'm going to bring the camera back out here a little bit wider, see if I can get a locator on my GPS so I can tell you exactly where we are. This is going to be right off of 36th Terrace. 36th Terrace, and I'm waiting for an intersection here between Oakland Park and Sunrise Boulevard. And again, this is this vehicle now traveling westbound here, coming up on slower traffic, obviously rush hour here. You're going to see some crowded streets, and the vehicle, well, now turning into a parking lot of a store here and coming through the back alley. Again, there's a police helicopter, one of the Broward Sheriff's Office helicopters. We got the bailout now of several suspects, and the vehicle is left in gear. The vehicle is still rolling. It's going to collide with that truck right there as we follow these people running through what appears to be this is a lake, a piece of property near a lake, and they're running northbound here. We've got several people being pursued by police officers, at least 4 we count right there. We're going to stay with the lead runner here right now. He's looking back and trying to see if he has eluded police, but again, that police helicopter up above now guiding in ground units in this area as they cross this roadway here. Again, this all happening in about the last 10 or 15 minutes. A vehicle that was described as being stolen out of Lighthouse Point or in that area. Police officers from that jurisdiction gave chase. There goes that police helicopter we were referring to, and they are now inside or in this property right here. The next step for the Broward Sheriff's Office would be to get the local municipality that's involved in this area to put up a perimeter around this house. But right now, that's what we have. We have suspects that fled into this apartment complex. We just swing the camera around here, see if we see anybody else still on foot. We do not. The vehicle that bailed out is over. That they bailed out of is over here. Police officers arriving on the scene there. So that's the.
So, Ralph, look at this.
Yes.
So we have 2 people getting inside another vehicle.
Okay, that's happening over here at this apartment complex. Yeah, let me see. Right here, and it's pulling out. So they've gotten into another blue vehicle. That's this vehicle right here. We've got. We're locked on if they want to join us over here. There we go. And they are now leaving this apartment complex in the area of 39th Way. You can see now blowing through a stop sign there, and they've got another vehicle that they've gotten into to try to at least 2 of the 4 people got into that vehicle as they bailed out of the one that came into the back of that parking lot in a little strip shop there. And they ran across, we probably ran maybe 200 yards to a development that had some what appeared to be apartments or condominiums. Okay, he's got a cop, I'm being told there's a police officer, there's a Florida Highway Patrol vehicle behind him now, and you can see that he's driving erratically, trying to elude police here. Of course, the police helicopter is up here letting the units on the ground know just about every move that they're making right here. But now we have, it's the first time I can ever remember seeing stolen vehicle chase where the people bailed out and then the subject got into another vehicle and then continued to try to elude police.
You know, that's what I think is unusual. There must have been keys in the other car for that person to be able to take off, and those 2 other people to be able to take off in that car. But Ralph, you mentioned something interesting earlier. This is rush hour, very heavily traveled area. One of the things I'm noticing here, and your vantage point may be better than mine, but I'm not necessarily noticing the police following directly behind them. Do you think that's on purpose? Because they certainly don't want to try to create even more chaos or the potential for an accident as they continue to try to pursue these subjects, unless that's a police car that's right behind it right there.
Maybe unmarked.
Yeah, that's an unmarked SUV with lights on it, and there's a FHP trooper there behind him also following. I can't answer specifically on this particular case. I know that these things are so fluid. The situations are so fluid, and sometimes so many different municipalities become involved that it takes a while to coordinate that. And you can see right now that the driver of this vehicle is just not heeding any warnings or anything. Now he's pulling up, and again, vehicle is stopped. It looks like they're going to get out, and again they're bailing out and running. This time they're running to the backyard. We have a police officer giving chase right here through the backyards, over fences. Looks like they're running eastbound now and around to the second block, a block away from where they bailed out of the vehicle. Now they're in the front yard of a home here, and they're on foot. They're being pursued by officers, and now they're running. We've got a police officer coming up behind them, and it looks like he's going to stick with the one guy here. I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to do this, but he's on foot trying to elude the police officers. The officer there does have a radio, although albeit it would be difficult to communicate while you're running. But this guy's running out of wind, and he's giving himself up here. Police is going to be taking him down. He's on the hood of that vehicle, so we have at least one of the subjects in custody. Now the FHP officer also arrives to assist, and this person is in custody. This all happening, as we said a little earlier, just to rehash, about maybe in the last 15 minutes or so, this pursuit, and I understand that our secondary picture now is showing you a second suspect.
I just wanted to interrupt you, Ralph.
Loose.
Yeah, well, I just wanted,
right?
Maybe you're not able to see this, but yes, we're looking at possibly the other suspect who fled that second blue car, took off, is hiding behind this garbage can. The other person he was with, the other suspect, has been taken down. This is the guy who, this is your picture, he threw himself on the hood of this car. We don't know if the second car was stolen or what have you, but they did take off, and they were determined not to give up. And again, this is another picture we're looking at of the other suspect that was in the second car who took off on foot. He's running in backyards, definitely not willing to give up at all.
And certainly when you look at the fact that he's running through the backyards of residential homes, and so certainly people in the area should stay inside their homes, especially as this guy just kind of went into what looks like a backyard, and we don't know if he's tried to get in to someone's house to try to elude police or what he's doing, but obviously fairly tired now because he starts walking. Now he's starting
okay, ladies,
to run again.
Go ahead, Ralph.
Okay, I just want to tell you, Northwest 24th Court and Northwest 47th Avenue, that's the area that we're in. We are now watching as our camera trains on the second suspect here as he's hurdled about 3 or 4 fences here. He is in the neighborhood here. The Broward Sheriff's Office helicopter has been keeping an eye on him and is watching him right now, and we are communicating his location to that department as they continue to look for him in the backyard of several homes now. It looks like he's looking for a place to hide and catch his breath, but police officers definitely active here in this area. We've got at least 3 highway patrol officers here, along with Oakland Park Police and several other agencies that were all assisted in stopping first a blue sedan that was stolen out of, reported stolen out of Lighthouse Point. As our viewers watched us live, we saw those at least 4 people exit that vehicle with the vehicle still in gear in the rear parking lot of a shopping center right off of Oakland Park Boulevard. That vehicle collided with a parked vehicle. They ran a good 200 yards through a wooded area.
So, Ralph, let me interrupt. The guy on the right
sure.
is giving up. It looks like he threw himself on the ground.
There you go.
It looks to be another officer going to jump the fence there. He's crawling on his stomach. Well, maybe he's not giving up. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he is. There's a canine officer right there at the fence, and the canine officer, they're seeing that that suspect probably thinking the better of trying to outrun the canine officer and his dog there. So he's crawling. He's being told to crawl on his hands to the gate, to the fence. They're going to secure him there and there'll be other officers arriving on the location here shortly, and they'll be taken into custody. You can see right now he's hurtling over the fence. He's going to be laying down here. And
I want to interrupt, Ralph, to let viewers know what they're looking at right now is 2 live pictures on the left and the right of this developing story. The left picture is a guy on the ground there in the street who's been taken into custody for allegedly stealing a car, taking police on this police chase. And on the right, you can see, you're right, Ralph, the canine officer, the dog doing its thing, finding the other suspect who was crawling on the ground, and he's also now being cuffed.
And we also note that there are 2 other suspects on the loose right now. There were 4 people in that initial stolen car, that blue sedan, Ralph. So we do know that there are 2 in custody, 2 still on the loose, apparently. And so I'm sure that police are now going to be on the hunt for those 2, as they have at least 2 people who are suspected of stealing that blue sedan in custody.
That's correct, and right now I'm trying to backtrack here to figure out exactly, because we orbit around and occasionally we'll lose our bearing as far as where the bailout occurred and where what transpired, everything that transpired. But those 2 other suspects that we saw stopped short of the apartment complex where we saw the 2 suspects run in and then run out and get into the blue SUV. So they're somewhere back in that area. Now, of course, again, the Broward Sheriff's Office training for their pilots and for their spotters up there, they'll deploy assets on the ground to certain areas and put up what's called a box, and that's just imagine a perimeter around this area, and they won't let anybody in or out unless they get cleared by the police department, and they will check the back seats of cars and the trunks of automobiles, the beds of trucks that come through, any possible way to check and see if they can get it. And of course they do put out a description as best they can of the suspects as they are fleeing. But you saw live here on WSVN the takedown of 2 of those 4 suspects, and again, they're allegedly wanted for auto theft or a stolen vehicle. At least the vehicle they were in came back as a stolen vehicle, and a pursuit started in Lighthouse Point and actually went northbound on the I at one point as far north as Northwest 48th Street, and then the driver of the vehicle made a U-turn and started coming southbound, exited off of Oakland Park Boulevard, and then was coming through the neighborhoods between here Oakland Park and Sunrise Boulevard west of I-95. And as we said before, we showed you live the bailout from one vehicle, and a first for us here in Skyforce HD, the suspects, at least 2 of them, getting in another vehicle and then fleeing again, finally giving themselves up, or at least bailing out of that second vehicle in the area of Northwest 48th Terrace and 24th Court, where we saw one taken into custody by Florida Highway Patrol and some uniformed officers, and then the second, after a brief running exercise through the over fences and through people's backyards, a canine officer presented himself from the street side of in front of a house, spotted the suspect, and the suspect thought the better of it and gave himself up. So that's pretty much our story right here in Skyforce HD. I'm Ralph Raven reporting live.
Wow, that was something else. The first time for me as well. We've never experienced that, seeing 4 suspects jump out of a stolen car, take off on foot, live on the air, and then find another car to take off. But as Danielle had mentioned, 2 suspects are still on the loose as far as we know at this point. Again, these are live pictures out of Lauderdale Lakes. 2 suspects accused of taking police on this high-speed chase, very dangerous situation, because we're talking about a residential area, also accused of stealing that car, have been caught, but 2 others remain on the loose.
And I think that's what's going to be the interesting thing here in terms of finding those two others, because Ralph, as you showed us, they ran into a really fairly dense residential area with lots of apartment buildings, with lots of places they could hide. And so it's going to be interesting to see how they're able to find these guys, especially if they found a place that they can kind of burrow themselves and hide away. As we take a look at these pictures here we go, Ralph, and you can probably see this. We see three suspects actually running right now, running at a pretty good clip, trying to get away from police. So these may be the other guys who police are looking for right now. Absolutely incredible.
That was something else. We'll have more on this developing story in just a few minutes on 7 News at 6. I'm Lynn Martinez.
And I'm Danielle Knox. We'll see you soon.